And they're off. MC Jackhammer out best, but his early stride is being met quickly by Grand Ambition, who takes the lead, hard-ridden to keep up his Golden Wind, who's now applying the pressure as MC Jackhammer drops back to third. Brady O'Brady is fourth on the outside, and then it's another 3 lengths to the trailer, Collaborative. Fairly well spread out. They're racing in duos early, Grand Ambition and Golden Wind in a duel as they race into the turn. 21-4 in the slot for the opening quarter. It's a gap of 6 more lengths to MC Jackhammer on the inside of Brady O'Brady, and then another 5 to Collaborative. This is a fast pace to maintain. They're halfway around the turn. Grand Ambition pushed along to get clear of Golden Wind. Brady O'Brady and MC Jackhammer both try to inch closer from mid-pack, and Collaborative still trails. They swing for the drive, and Grand Ambition tries to give them the slip. He's up by 4. Brady O'Brady is rallying down the outside. Golden Wind is still there. It's Grand Ambition on top, but he's getting tired. Brady O'Brady is coming with every stride. Brady O'Brady and Chris Husband reel this one in easily. It's Brady O'Brady convincingly. Brady O'Brady by 3 going away. Grand Ambition held second from MC Jackhammer, then Collaborative, 5.5 in 105 flat. And they're off. Fermenter hopped at the break. Connect It was out a bit slowly. Hermione Granger broke sharply and is cleared to the early lead with ease. She's already up by 2 lengths. Rifling and Fulcra share position in second, then Connect It racing in fourth in front of a rank Fermenter who's trying to pull into position. It is Hermione Granger leading the charge down the backstretch. Fulcra has the head in front of Rifling, who is bet down to 2-5. They pass the opening quarter, 22-3. Fermenter is into fourth with Connect It to her outside as they race into the turn. Now Fulcra comes to a stop. Hermione Granger is up by 2, but about to be joined by Rifling, who's moving comfortably. Fulcra is falling back, and that's shuffled back Fermenter and Connect It as they race midway around the turn. Rifling is gaining ground on Hermione Granger with every stride and now puts the head in front at the quarter pole. The half was 46-2. They turn for home, and it's a duel between Rifling and Hermione Granger. Rifling now a length clear as they reach the 8th pole. It's Rifling getting away from a tired Hermione Granger. Late rally from Connect It from the back. It is all Rifling. Rifling and Melanie Pinto drawing clear in the final 16th of a mile. It's going to be Rifling, the margin 4 at the wire. Connect It gets up for second over Hermione Granger, and then Fermenter, 6 furlongs and 1, 12-2. And they're off. Running Argument broke slowly. It's a real tussle for the early lead. Golden Spring and Loaded Secret both showing speed. Spectacular Force from the outside. Misty Point takes back the stock from fourth along the rail. Then it's 2 lengths back to Seguiria with Lulu's Lullaby to her outside, and the trailer racing wide on the course is Running Argument. The duel continues as they go into the turn. On the outside, Golden Spring has the head in front of Loaded Secret. Misty Point is well spotted in third, racing 3 lengths better than stablemate Sigiriya. The opening quarter was 22-3. Lulu's Lullaby tries to launch a rally from the outside, and then it's well back to running Argument and Spectacular Force. They swing for the drive. Golden Spring still with a short lead from Loaded Secret. Room up the inside for Sigiriya. Misty Point is right there, and here's Lulu's Lullaby. 5 across the track at the 8th pole. Sigiriya moving well up the rail, but Lulu's Lullaby is storming home down the far outside. It's Lulu's Lullaby and Amanda Vandermeersch finishing best. Sigiriya going to be second, then Misty Point and Loaded Secret, but Lulu's Lullaby on top. 5/8 and 59-1. And they're off. Chrome's Big Break out well from the rail. Legally Charitable is second early with Ash Carnelli to the outside in third. Then towards the back we have Taylor Moon and Nicole Song as they spread themselves out in the early running. It is Chrome's Big Break and Melanie Pinto leading the way 2.5 lengths better than the 1-9 favorite Legally Charitable. It's then a gap of 5 more to Ash Carnelli in third, working her way to the rail 3 lengths better than Taylor Moon, and off the inside trailing the field into the turn is Nicole Song. 21-4, a torrid opening pace set by Chrome's Big Break, and Legally Charitable is inching closer from second. They're still 5 lengths clear of Ash Carnelli, who's gaining a bit of ground. Now Nicole Song tries to launch a rally past a tired Taylor Moon. A quarter of a mile left to go, and Chrome's Big Break is looking to hold. Legally Charitable still second, and Ash Carnelli is gaining ground up the inside with every stride. It's Chrome's Big Break. Not today for Legally Charitable. The only threat is Ash Carnelli. Chrome's Big Break still looking strong in the stretch. Ash Carnelli with an inside rally. Chrome's Big Break is looking for the wire. Ash Carnelli is coming. Chrome's Big Break on top. Ash Carnelli. Chrome's Big Break will hold on. Chrome's Big Break by 1 1/4 over Ash Carnelli. Late rally from Nicole Song and then Legally Charitable. 6 furlongs in 1:11-2. And they're off. Aussie Hyper broke slowly. Speedy Lady out well from the inside with Lisiate deep on the course. Between them is Rolling Rocks. Super Honey Timber is going to stalk from the inside, and trailing the field early after the slow beginning is Aussie Hyper. The top 4 are fairly clustered, but the leader is clearly Speedy Lady. She's a length on top of Super Honey Timber, who's trying to split her and Lisiate racing 3 deep. 2 lengths back to Rolling Rocks from 4th, who's about to be joined by Aussie Hyper on her inside. The opening quarter was completed in 23 seconds flat. The lead still belongs to Speedy Lady, but now being pressured by Super Honey Timber. Lisiate is still there from 3rd. They're 3 across the track as they pass the 3/8 pole. Aussie Hyper is 4th, 3 lengths off the dueling trio, and the new trailer under a ride is Rolling Rocks. A quarter of a mile to go. Super Honey Timber takes a narrow advantage from Speedy Lady. Lisiate is cruising in the 3 path, now asked for a little more by the right hand. 46-4 to the half. At the head of the lane, Speedy Lady tries to respond to the challenge of Super Honey Timber, but that one is going better. It's Super Honey Timber and Kirk Johnson up by a length. Speedy Lady trying to dig back in. Lisiate is stalled on the outside. Super Honey Timber and Kirk Johnson are drawing off in deep stages. It's Super Honey Timber by 3, Speedy Lady, and then Leezy 8. Fourth was Aussie Hyper, 6 furlongs in 1, 12 and 1. And they're off. A very level beginning. From the far outside, Not Your Honey is showing speed with Charlita, and now splitting horses, One Hell of a Girl. Also trying to join the early fray is Sinful Forester. That gives good position to lots of legacies on the inside, and the trailer wide on the course is Sugar Drop. Into the turn they go. It's a three-way tussle for the lead. Charlita on the rail, Sinful Forester between foes, and One Hell of a Girl 3 deep. Not Your Honey called it quits early. Sugar Drop is moving well, and the trailer is Lots of Legacies. 23 and 1 for the opening quarter, and now the advantage at 1 to 5 is Sinful Forester. She's 3/4 of a length clear of Charlita, who tries to fight back. One Hell of a Girl needs to find more. Sugar Drop is trying to respond. They swing for the drive. It is Sinful Forester with the lead. Charlita sticking on gamely on the inside. Late charge from Sugar Drop. Sinful Forester has the advantage as Charlita tires. Sugar Drop going to try and make a race of it. One more girl with a late charge. It is Sinful Forester proving best. Sinful Forester and Edgar Zenteno by 2. One Hell of a Girl was second, then Sugar Drop and Charlita. 5 furlongs and 59 and 4. gentlemen, welcome back to Fort Erie Racetrack for another week of live racing here this summer. Beautiful Monday afternoon for our 6-race card today. It is 26 degrees Celsius or 79 Fahrenheit. Got a wind coming out of the west at 13 miles per hour. The main track is fast and the turf is firm with the rail out 6 feet, 29 minutes to first post. Visit our website, fortierieracing.com, for information about everything going on here at the track. Tune into the pre-race show to get info about the track conditions, scratches and changes, handicapping selections, and info about upcoming races and events. Racing will be back tomorrow at Fort Erie. First post will be 4:30. And if you're coming out to the track tomorrow, stick around. After the last race, we'll have a free concert featuring Cottage Brew. Wiener Dog races coming back to Fort Erie on Sunday, July 13th. Admission is free. And for more dog racing action, Sunday, August 17th, we'll have the Basset Hound and Corgi races. Fort Foodie Fest returns on Sunday, July 27th. Don't miss out on the delicious action. Post time is at noon. Mark your calendars. The 90th running of the Prince of Wales Stakes is coming up on Tuesday, September 9th. New for Prince of Wales Day this year will be the fashion contest. Be sure to come out to see who will be crowned the best dressed at the 90th Prince of Wales. And we'll have new merch for Prince of Wales this year. For $10, you'll have a beautiful 90th Prince of Wales coffee mug. Be sure to book your table in the Turfside Dining Room, open on live racing days. Reservations are recommended. Head down to the Paddock Shack for burgers, hot dogs, sausages, fries, and poutine, plus beer and soft drinks, located near the walking ring. Treat your team to an exciting day at the races. It's only $12.39 per person. The track pack includes 1 food item, 1 drink, and a Fort Erie live racing program. For more information, go to our website. Become a member of HPIBet.com today. Get $100 when you bet $100, plus your first bet is on us. We're having non-winning ticket draws again today here at Fort Erie. Bring your non-winning ticket to the customer service desk to enter the prize draw. Today's prize draw features autographed Prince of Wales t-shirts signed by winning jockey Justin Stein. Tune into Your TV Niagara for the Fort Erie Race Replay Show, Channel 700, Thursdays at 10:30 and Saturdays at 10. I want to say thank you to our partners at Oneida New Holland of Niagara for providing us with a new tractor for maintenance this season. Jackpot High Five wagering offered in Race 6 today. The carryover is up to $11,671. Smoking is allowed in designated areas only at Fort Erie Racetrack. No food or beverage are allowed in these areas, and no cannabis is allowed on the property. Changes on today's card. Race 1, we have a vet scratch of the number 1 Addy Bug. Cancel show and superfecta wagering in Race 1. Scratch the 1. Race 2 is clear. No changes in the second. In Race 3, we have an overweight on the number 1. My math is correct. The rider will be 1 pound over at 121. And vet scratch the number 2 PT Bossette. No changes in the 4th. Race 4 is clear. Race 5 is also clear. No changes in the 5th. And for now, Race 6 is clear. We will update you on the status of main track only number 9, Linda's Opal, as more information is made available. But for now, no changes in the 6th. Good to be back here for another week of live racing here at the Border Oval. 6 races on tap today, a beautiful day. Fast and firm. Let's take a look at our selections. Race 1 is a claiming race for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, which have not won a race this year or which have never won 4. It's a 5.5 furlong sprint on the main track for a claiming price of $8,000 down to $7,000. The early pick 4 kicks off here. Scratch down to a field of 4, so there's no show and no superfecta wagering. My top choice here is the number 4, Julie's Mist. Julie's Mist won a non-winners of 3 allowance in her first start of the season on the dirt. Went on the turf course on June 24th in a wide open allowance and was held a bit at the start, was called a non-starter. Still ran okay, showed some finish, ran 5th out of 7. That was a tough group. Garnet and Gold, coming down from Woodbine, won that one.
She gets back to the dirt and drops in for 8,000, and I think there's some cheap speed to set this race up for her. On the outside, number 5, Silver Bullet Lady, comes out of the same race as Julie's Mist, finished 4th, a length in front of that foe. Before that one, Gate to Wire at Woodbine. If she has the speed to get loose, I think she can get clear, but I really think Signature Ring is going to be a thorn in her side early. And on that topic, number 3, Signature Ring. Tough to fault, 5 for 7 over the Fort Erie dirt, all against easier company. But this is a horse with a lot of confidence who loves this surface and has some speed. Terry Husband's going to ride for trainer Julie Mathis. Race 2 is an allowance race for 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 3. Another 5.5 furlong sprint here. Pick 5 wager on today's card comes up here. I've gone to the number 3, Forest Flash, for trainer Jeff Voice. Edgar Zenteno, co-leading rider, aboard here. Zenteno and Juan Crawford both tied with 10 wins so far this season. Forest Flash went Gate to Wire, held off Star Scholar to win an 8,000 non-winners of 2 in his first start off the bench. That was on June 10th. Stepping up to the allowance level now. He's got a lot of speed. I think he's going to be the quickest out of the gate, and I think that gives him a good shot to double up here. I think the obvious next threat is the number 1, Short Story Long, who's looking for his 3rd consecutive win. Short Story Long won a maiden 10 at Woodbine on May 23rd quite easily, was claimed that day. Came back here to Fort Erie for new trainer John Sims, dueled and dug in gamely to win a non-winners of 2 allowance on June 24th. And now he's going to look to do the same thing, duel along the inside and prove best. Amanda Vandermeersch and John Sims have been a live combo so far this meet. They won one of the long run stakes on Father's Day with Traves. Definite contender, Short Story Long. And for the show spot, the number 5, Rise My Guy, for George Newland and Kirk Johnson. Dueled on the lead and got tired to be 3rd in a non-winners of 3 for 8,000 on June 23rd. Before that, ran a good second behind Truly Mischief, who's a super classy horse at the non-4, non-1 of the year level. Rise My Guy, I don't think needs to be sent to the lead. He could stalk from the outside and be very live. Race 3 is our first turf race of the day. It's a maiden allowance for 3-year-olds and up, going about 7 furlongs. The late pick 4 kicks off here. Scratch down to a field of 6 with the withdrawal of number 2, PT Bosset. Pretty solid consensus here. The top pick is the number 6, Glint in Daddy's Eyes. Good to see Bermuda Blue Farm back in action with trainer Noel Williams. Glint in Daddy's Eye, disappointed as the favorite for 15,000 at Woodbine on June 26th. Ran 4th. It wasn't a bad effort, just was expected a little more. She was sent off as the 1-2 favorite that day. Only try on turf was her first career start, and she was a bit flat that day. I just think she has the class, or he has the class to win this race. He ran a big second behind the speedy Tiger Town on May 30th. If he gets a good trip around the turf course, I think Glint in Daddy's Eye definitely live. Number 3, British Sea, gets a 2-turn turf race, which is what he's been dying for. I don't think you hold either of those first 2 starts this season against him. You look at his form on turf south of the border. Last year he got beat a nose at Colonial Downs, going 1 1/8 for 16,000. Earlier that year, got beat a half length for 45,000 in Laurel. Definite turf horse here. The about 7 furlongs shouldn't be an issue at this class level. Juan Crawford, Roy Augustino, and Michael Bellissimo teamed up for a nice win with Dragon's Brew a couple of weeks ago. So British Sea at the 10-1 morning line. I think you have to bet this horse. Then the number 5, the great PJ, made his first lifetime start in a maiden allowance on the dirt on June 23rd and ran a pretty good 3rd behind Speedy Bullet and Video Evidence. We'll see how he likes to stretch out to the turf for this 5-year-old second-time starter. Race 4 is a claiming race, 3-year-olds and up, which have not won a race this year or which have never won 4. 6 furlongs to distance, $62.50 down to $6,000 the claiming price. I think there's a standout here, the number 1, Commander Joe. For Nick Malini and Edgar Zenteno, always a live combo here. Commander Joe was much the best in a 5,000 conditioned race on June 10th. Beat next out winner Brady O'Brady, 71 buyers, a solid figure. His only other start at Fort Erie, he was a very good 4th and a tough starter last year. I just think he's very set up well to double up here. I think he's the best horse in the race, bar none. Number 6, Attestation, was able to win a non-winners of 3, 8,000 on June 23rd. Stalked a speed duel and proved best. Broke badly that day, but overall things set up in his favor. Now he's got to step up to face a tougher horse like Commander Joe. Granted, if Commander Joe comes up flat, Attestation should be the one to take advantage. Chris Husbands starting to get some momentum at the meet. Rides this one for trainer Joe Humber. Then for third, the number 4, Star Scholar. Star Scholar, 1 for 36 in his career, 12 second place finishes. He's eligible for the non-winners of 2, but he shows up here. Star Scholar runs good, doesn't want to win, and I expect that will be the theme of this race as well. Ishmael Mascara will ride Star Scholar for trainer John Sims. Race 5 is an allowance race for non-winners of 2. A mile and a 16th on the main track. We haven't seen that yet this year. Late double wager kicks off here in the 5th, field of 5. My top choice is the number 4, Speedy Bullet. Made his Fort Erie debut on June 23rd. And it was a pretty convincing maiden allowance win at the 6 furlong distance. He's had some good races at a mile and a 16th before at Woodbine. A couple of third place finishes at the distance back in 2023. I think he's primed to double up here. Leo Salas coming down to ride this one for Sharon Chicado. Shout out to Leo and his agent Don Parente, 2 of my favorites at Woodbine. Number 2, So Called Vacation, scored his overdue maiden win at Woodbine on June 20th. Overcame some pressure and was able to win for $10,000. Was claimed that day by Icon and Adamo. 7 for 15 so far, the Icon and Adamo team. Juan Crawford has ridden many of those winners. So Called Vacation by Super Speedy should handle the dirt, has some speed. Definitely a contender, 2-1 morning line favorite. Then for third, the number 1, Lonrose Gamble. Showed some finish to be 4th in an 8,000 non-winners of 2 on June 10th. Definitely wants the added distance. I think he can sit off the pace and come running for a share late. Kirk Johnson rides for Roy Agostino. Back on the turf for the nightcap. It's a non-winners of 2 allowance for fillies and mares going about 7 furlongs. Jackpot High 5 carryover is up over $11,000. Field of 8 going to go to gate here, assuming that the 9, Linda's Opal, will be scratched, as it looks like the weather will stay good enough to keep this race on the turf. My top choice here, we're looking at the inside, number 1, Kid Gizmo. Kid Gizmo ran at Woodbine for $15,000 in a sprint on June 21st, had the 8-hole, had a wide trip, and ran very well to be 4th, beaten only 4 lengths. Overcame a tough trip that day. Much better post, makes her first trip around the Fort Erie turf course. I think she'll like this course. She has the speed to be well positioned from the inside. I think this is a very good spot for Kid Gizmo. Juan Crawford rides this one for Roy Agostino. Number 7, Naughty and Nice, going to be a speed factor here. She looked like she was going to win comfortably when she set the pace for 62.50 on June 23rd, but got run down by Connect It in the final 16th of a mile. Connect It had a fitness edge. She was coming in from Mountaineer, had some races under her belt. Naughty and Nice was coming off of the layoff. Maybe this time the speed will be able to carry her all the way. Number 6, Brilliant Disguise, came down from Woodbine and was able to win a maiden special weight on the dirt on June 10th. Now she makes her turf debut here. 61 buyer for that winning effort, not bad at all. Very well bred. Brilliant Disguise. Alexis Sanchez, you get the 5 pounds off for trainer Joe Humber. 16 minutes to post for today's first race. Best of luck with all of your wagers and enjoy your day here at Fort Erie Racetrack.
It's easy to make a bet on HPIBet.com. Follow these simple steps and you'll be betting in no time. First, go to the HPIBet.com website. Sign in to your HPIBet account. Find the track and race you want to bet on. Click on the Place Bet button. Click on the bet type you want to wager with. Click on the amount you want to wager. Click on the horse you want to wager on. Click on the green Place Bet button. Review your bet confirmation information. It's all done. Remember, all this can be done on most mobile devices. Now cheer on your pick to victory.
We gear up here for another day of racing. Race number 1, 5.5 furlongs on the main track for the fillies and mares. $8,000 is the claiming price, and I think the fillies and mares towards the outside of the starting gate are going to take most of the love. I'm going to focus in, though, on the number 2, Dreaming of Hope, who was a new face to Fort Erie last year, was able to pick up the second lifetime win back in September, and did it quite nicely. Gate to wire fashion, a 69 Beyer speed figure, which meant next time we saw her, allowance optional claiming competition. And there, she was second best behind Forest B, sort of a tough group in terms of level. She didn't face a ton of runners in there, but I thought she ran very well and then was able to win once again after that. And kind of looking at where she finds herself, this is a logical spot for her connections. I like her getting back onto the dirt. I'm willing to forgive her 2 performances late last year up at Woodbine. She's probably going to be part of the pace in here. And I think the other thing to kind of consider is her starting point being 5.5. I think 5.5, 6 is probably more within her wheelhouse. 6.5 has been good to her. I know that, but it really depends on those early fractions. So don't mind her on the cutback. She's 5-1 in the morning line. She's going to take a little bit of respect in here. The 4, Julie's Mist, obviously one to look at. Got under the grass last time out. Says she finished 5th. She was declared a non-starter. She had problems out of the gate, and prior to that, she looked very good here, winning for the 3rd time in her career. It was a nice spot. It was back on opening day, May 27th, and in terms of the horses that finished behind her, Legally Charitable came back to win next time out. Frackamore, the 3rd place finisher, has a win at the meet as well. And then the last place horse in there, Misty Point, came back to win. So it's been a productive race, whether it was next time out or several starts later. I think that bodes well for her. She was very tactical in that trip, which I liked. A length and a half off of it early, and then progressed in kind of past horses there to win by a head. She makes a lot of sense. This is class relief for her, dropping in for 8,000. And then the 5, Silver Bullet Lady. She ran fine on the turf last time out. She took some play in there, but in terms of the horse that beat her, Garnet and Gold, a very nice horse that's not only had a good year at Fort Erie now, but also at Woodbine for connections that have been red hot. And the question for her is going to be the dirt. She's going to try the dirt for the first time in her career. On the mare side of things, she was 0 for 3 on the dirt. Siblings haven't been able to graduate on the surface. So it's tough for me to necessarily say the dirt on the bottom side, but she is a daughter of Reload, and the Reloads are very good on the dirt. So I don't want to read into the pedigree too much, especially on the bottom side. And she has speed, so that's probably the major asset that she's going to have is that she can be forwardly placed. She gets a compact field in here, and she's towards the outside of the starting gate. But I'll go to the 2, Dreaming of Hope, who can maybe pressure her and be part of the pace early here and should offer better value. Good luck.
Field is making their way on track for today's first race. Race 1 is a claiming race for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and up, which have not won a race in 2025 or which have never won 4 races, going for a claiming price of $8,000 down to $7,000, traveling a distance of 5 1/2 furlongs, competing for a purse of $22,200. No show and no superfecta wagering in today's first race. Race 1 offers win place, exactor, 20-cent try, double, 20-cent pick 3, and 20-cent early pick 4 wagering. Race 1 post parade, scratch the 1. First to parade is number 2, Dreaming of Hope. Edgar Zenteno riding for trainer Ken Smith and owner Radcliffe Racing Stable. Away from parade, number 3, Signature Ring, races for Bruno Schickedans. Terry Husbands in the saddle for trainer Julie Mathis. Tony Alderson owns and trains the number 4, Julie's Mist. The rider is Jeffrey Alderson. Completing the field, number 5, Silver Bullet Lady. Melanie Pinto riding for trainer Mike Blake and owners Ascot Stud, Michael Blake Sr., Amanda Enns, and Mark Stout. 2 minutes to post for race 1. Early pick 4 wagering kicks off here. Field for race 1 is behind the starting gate. It is now post time. 3-2 favorite is the number 5, Silver Bullet Lady. 8-5 on the number 4, Julie's Mist. And 2-1 on the number 3, Signature Ring. Early pick 4 wager kicks off here. First of 6 on a Monday at Fort Erie Racetrack. First in is Dreaming of Hope with Edgar Zenteno in the Radcliffe Racing Stable Silks. Signature Ring still well back from the gate. And now Signature Ring comes up with Terry Husbands. Julie's Mist and Jeffrey Alderson, now the 7-5 favorite. Last in, Silver Bullet Lady and Melanie Pinto. All set. And they're off. Silver Bullet Lady out very sharply from the outside, but Signature Ring has also shown up with some early speed. These two have opened up a quick 3 lengths on the trailing pair of Julie's Mist and Dreaming of Hope. Signature Ring, despite being out broke, has taken the advantage on Silver Bullet Lady. She leads by a neck as they race within the half-mile pole. 2 lengths back to Julie's Mist, who's traveling well in third at 4-5, and the clear trailer now is Dreaming of Hope. 22-3 for the opening quarter, 3 furlongs left to travel, and Signature Ring still being hounded by Silver Bullet Lady. Julie's Mist is biding her time in third, just a length and a half off of the leaders, and it's another 5 to Dreaming of Hope. At the quarter pole, it is still Signature Ring, Silver Bullet Lady, and Julie's Mist. They're 3 across the track. Now Julie's Mist is trying to range up to Signature Ring. Signature Ring with a short lead, but now Julie's Mist takes control at the 8th pole. Julie's Mist has the lead. Late rally from Dreaming of Hope, but Julie's Mist is drawing clear. Julie's Mist and Jeffrey Alderson open up the day with a 3-length score. Dreaming of Hope just got up for second over Signature Ring. 5.5 in 106-1. Unofficial in race 1, the winner is number 4, Julie's Mist. Second is the 2, Dreaming of Hope. Third, number 3, Signature Ring. And fourth, number 5, Silver Bullet Lady. Unofficial race 1 order, 4-2-3-5. Now returning to the winner's circle, the unofficial winner of today's first race, number 4, Julie's Mist. Julie's Mist is a 5-year-old bay mare by Shackelford out of Busy Listening, bred in Kentucky by E.H. Bowlane III. Ridden to victory today by Jeffrey Alderson. Julie's Mist is owned and trained by Tony Alderson. Second win of the season and 4th lifetime win for Julie's Mist, who stalks the speed duel and kicks clear in the stretch, completing the 5 1/2 furlongs in a time of 106-1. Congratulations to the connections of Julie's Mist. Hold all tickets until race 1 is made official. And race 1 is now official. Prices are up. Julie's Mist returned $360 to win and $240 to place. There was no show wagering in the first. Number 2, Dreaming of Hope, $360 to place. $2 exacta 4-2 was $880, and the $1 try 4-2-3 $1150. No superfecta wagering in today's first race.
All right, Doug, we're going to go to a photo, then claim, and then it will be the changes.
Okie doke. On screen now, the place photo from race 1. We had a claim out of today's first race. Number 2, Dreaming of Hope, claimed by Icon Racing Stables, moves to the barn of trainer Tony Adamo. Race 2 is coming up in 17 minutes. There are no changes.
Race 2 is an allowance event. Non-winners of 3 lifetime on the main track. It's a distance of 5.5 furlongs, and this is for 3-year-olds and upward. It's a pretty good bunch in here. Some horses that have big efforts last time out, and just kind of scrolling through the field now, 3 out of the 5 that were entered in here, they all have a win as of their last start. Now I'll focus in on one of those horses, the number 3, Forest Flash. He is very quick, and he showed that last time out. He got to the front, but then he was able to open up on the field. He lasted, was able to clear in the end by 3/4, and technically he's jumping up, but I like that last time the connections used the waiver, so it was more of an assessment of what level he was at now as a 4-year-old, and has really not lost a step and took a big step forward as a 4-year-old, posting that 68 buyer speed figure. So he's going to try to go to the front, but others are going to try to do the same in this field. The 5, Rise My Guy, he'll be forward. I don't know if they're going to send him again. They tried that back on June 23rd, going 6.5 furlongs, and he just was third best. At a station, Bill Needle, they were clear of him, but I preferred the trip that he got in his first start of the year back on June 3rd. I mean, they couldn't keep up with Truly Mischief, who was an X'd-out winner, but at least they tracked and then kind of made a little bit of a move. They missed by a length and a quarter. I prefer that trip for him in here, just as I mentioned. There is so much speed, and I don't want him to be hard sent from the gate. So we'll see if he can stalk in here. Kirk Johnson booked to ride him. And then finally from here, the 1, Short Story Long, was ready to roll first off the claim. They claimed him for $10,000. They came back a month and a day later, and this horse was very, very good winning here. First start on the dirt, and just, did everything right. Had to really work for it in the end, which I liked. This horse had to show some gameness and was able to do so, and, draws the inside, has a fair bit of speed, but as we saw 2 starts back, Amanda Vandermeer knows this gelding now. 2 starts aboard. He can rate. A figure 2 starts back wasn't great, but it just showed that he has the ability to sit the trip if necessary. So very curious to see how the second race will play out on the card, but I'll go to the number 3, Forest Flash, as the top pick. Good luck.
Field is making their way on track for today's second race. Race 2 is an allowance race for 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 3 races. Traveling a distance of 5½ furlongs, competing for a purse of $24,600. Race 2 offers win, play, show, exactor, 20-cent try, double, 20-cent super, 20-cent pick 3, and 20-cent pick 5 wagering. Race 2 post parade. Number 1 is Short Story Long. Amanda Vandermeersch rides for trainer John Sims and owner Tony Gato. Number 2 is The Dream Listener. Jeffrey Alderson has the call for owner trainer Tony Alderson. Number 3 is Forest Flash. Edgar Zenteno riding for trainer Jeff Voice, who owns in partnership with Herb McGurr Jr. and Greg Atho. Tom Steer owns and trains the number 4, Le Grand Garçon. The rider is Leo Salez. Completing the field, number 5, Rise My Guy. Kirk Johnson riding for trainer George Newland and owner Lincoln Rodhay. 1 minute to post for race 2. 20-cent pick 5 wagering begins here. Starting gate moving into position. Not much time left to get your race 2 wagers in. 3-2 favorite is the number 5, Rise My Guy. 8-5 support on the number 3, Forest Flash, and 5-2 on the number 1, Short Story Long. Not much time left to get those race 2 wagers in. And field for race 2 is behind the starting gate. It is now post time. Favoritism has shifted to the number 3, Forest Flash, at 7-5. First to go in will be Short Story Long with Amanda Vandermeersch looking for their 3rd consecutive win. Short Story Long goes up. The Dream Listener looking to give Tony and Jeffrey Alderson a sweep of the early double. Forest Flash looking for his 2nd consecutive win with Edgar Zenteno, co-favorite at 3-2. The Gray, Le Grand Garçon and Leo Salez. Last in will be Rise My Guy and Kirk Johnson. All set. And they're off. Forest Flash out best from the center, being taken on early by Rise My Guy. Also showing some speed is the Dream Listener. It's a gap of 4 more back to Short Story Long and the trailer Le Grand Garçon. Forest Flash secures the advantage, taking mild pressure from the Dream Listener to the inside. Rise My Guy is taken back to a stalking spot on the outside in 3rd. They move into the turn and complete the opening quarter in 23-1, and now Forest Flash lets out a notch. He's opened up 2. Rise My Guy into 2nd past the Dream Listener. It's well back to Short Story Long and Le Grand Garçon, who races a pair. Just over a quarter of a mile to go, and Forest Flash is moving well with a 3-length advantage over Rise My Guy. They swing for the drive. The Dream Listener is tired. It is Forest Flash on top. Rise My Guy still in contention from 2nd. Le Grand Garçon trying to rally from the outside into 3rd. It's still Forest Flash, but Rise My Guy is right there. Rise My Guy puts the head in front. Forest Flash tries to come back on, but Rise My Guy has the advantage. It's Rise My Guy and Kirk Johnson win by almost 2. Forest Flash 2nd over a late charging Le Grand Garçon. Then Short Story Long. 5.5 in 104-4. Unofficial in race 2, the winner is number 5, Rise My Guy. 2nd is the 3, Forest Flash. 3rd, number 4, Le Grand Garçon. And 4th, number 1, Short Story Long. Unofficial race 2 order, 5-3-4-1. Now returning to the winner's circle, the unofficial winner of today's 2nd race, number 5, Rise My Guy. Rise My Guy is a 4-year-old chestnut colt by Cajun Breeze out of Lulu Laura, bred in Florida by Stonehenge LLC. Ridden to victory today by Kirk Johnson, Rise My Guy is trained by George Newland for Lincoln Rodhay. First win of the season for Rise My Guy, who's been knocking on the door. His third win in 23 career starts. He stalks the pace and pounces to complete the 5.5 furlongs in a time of 104 and 4. Congratulations to the connections of Rise My Guy. Hold all tickets until race 2 is made official. And race 2 is now official. Prices are up. Rise My Guy returns $480 to win, $230 and $210. Second, number 3, Forest Flash, $230 to place, $210. Third, number 4, Le Grand Garçon, $250 to show. $2 exacta 5-3, $7 even. The $1 try, 5-3-4, $850. $1 super, 5-3-4-1, $1040. And the $2 double, 4-5, $930. And a reminder, if you're on track with us today, we're having non-winning ticket draws. Bring your non-winning tickets to the customer service desk to enter the prize draw. Our prizes today include a Matty Matheson cookbook. Race 3 changes. We have an overweight on the number 1. My math is correct. 1 pound over at 121. Vet scratch the number 2, PT Bosset. 18 minutes to post for race 3.
Race 3, we're on the grass at about 7 furlongs, a maiden special weight event for 3-year-olds and upward. And then 7 were originally entered in this spot. And obviously, there is a scratch or so in here of the 2 PT Bow set. When we look at the others in here, I think it's pretty wide open. In terms of the top spot, I did go to the 6 in here, Glinton Daddy's Eyes, a horse that was 4th last time out while in for $15,000 against the maiden claimers up at Woodbine, was picked out of that spot. Now in the Williams barn with Bermuda Blue Farm as the owner. Horse that's, not graduated yet, 0 for 11, but probably finds a spot, tries the turf just for the 2nd time in the career, and maybe gets the right trip. I think this is a move where you spend a little bit more money, you come down here, and hopefully you're able to recoup pretty much most of it in that first start. So 6 on top for me. Others, though, I will go price shopping a little bit. The 4 best in class, 8-1 on the morning line. I know he's jumping up out of a $4,000 maiden claimer, but just hear me out. I think when you watch the replay, or at least what I saw last time out watching the race unfold, this horse hated the kickback. Didn't break that fast, isn't fast out of the gate, and then got dirt in the face, and I don't think he liked that. I think once you saw the rider angle out, got him in the clear, he was able to run. He ended up actually rounding out the trifecta there, which early on you didn't think that was possible, but I thought it was a good effort. Mentioned he's not fast early, so 6.5 on the dirt and now to 2 turns on the turf. Shouldn't get kicked back in theory, and then obviously the other part of it is that he's going to go longer. I think this is going to suit him well, so I like this move by trainer Joe Humber to try this out as an experiment. The 3 British Seas going to round out my top 3. Roy Augustino, hasn't had the opportunities necessarily to get this one on the turf, as you can see. They had to go up to Woodbine to find a spot. They put this one in the sprint into Summer Cup, where this one was unable to fire, and by pedigree, you're thinking turf all the way, and you're thinking really long on the turf. And obviously, I don't think about 7 furlongs is ideal for him, but going to be interesting to see the tactics. Hasn't been the speediest in those 2 sprints that we saw so far this year, but go to the turf form at Colonial. This is a horse that, if used from the gate, almost was able to graduate 4 starts ago, and I think adds some intrigue, especially if he offers value in here. So while I would prefer this race at 1 mile and a 16th for him, very excited to see him finally get on the grass. Good luck.
Field is making their way on track for today's third race. Race 3 is a maiden allowance race for 3-year-olds and up. Traveling a distance of about 7 furlongs over the turf course, competing for a purse of $21,600. Race 3 offers win, place, show, exactor, 20-cent try, double, 20-cent super, 20-cent pick 3, and 20-cent late pick 4 wagering. Race 3 post parade, number 1 is My Math is Correct. Ishmael Mascara riding for trainer Julie Mathis and owner David Mathis. Scratch the 2, number 3 is British Sea. Juan Crawford has the call for trainer Roy Augustino and owner Michael Bellissimo. Number 4 is Best in Class. Deshaun Gaskin riding for trainer Joe Humber, who owns in partnership with Tavis Dalziel. George Newland owns and trains the number 5, the Great PJ. The rider is Amanda Vandermeersch. Number 6 is Glinton Daddy's Eye. Kirk Johnson rides for trainer Noel Williams and owner Bermuda Blue Farm. Completing the field is Colebrook Farms, number 7, Juana's Legacy. Leo Salas rides for trainer Patrick Dixon. Late pick 4 wagering kicks off here. We are on the turf for race 3. Starting gate taking position on the turf course. Horses will cross shortly. Not much time left to get your race 3 wagers in. Late pick 4 starts here.
Field for race 3 is behind the starting gate. It is now post time. 9-5 favorite, the number 6, Glinton Daddy's Eye, in his first start off the claim. 2-1 on the 5, the Great PJ. And 5-2 support on the number 3, British Sea. Maiden allowance runners go about 7 furlongs over the turf course to kick off the late pick 4. First in is the gray, My Math is Correct, with Ishmael Mascara. My Math is Correct goes in. British Sea gets back to the turf here. Juan Crawford aboard. Goes up. Best in Class with Deshaun Gaskin. The Great PJ with Amanda Vandermeersch. 9-5 on Glinton Daddy's Eye and Kirk Johnson looking for a race-to-race double. Last in, Juana's Legacy with Leo Salas. All set. And they're off. Juana's Legacy was out slowly. My Math is Correct and Best in Class are both showing speed. Now the Great PJ rushes up in the 3-path to join the early fray, but My Math is Correct with the ears forward will secure the lead, drifting out as they race into the opening turn. The Great PJ is quite wide on the course with Best in Class. There's lots of room up the inside for British Sea, who takes the lead as My Math is Correct blows the turn. The complexion has changed drastically here. There's been a lot of trouble in the early running. Now it's a 3-way duel for the lead between Juana's Legacy racing in between Glinton Daddy's Eye and British Sea. 24-2 for the opening quarter in this messily run race. Good position now for Best in Class, who's stalking the trio about 3 lengths back. Then it's well back to the Great PJ, who was bothered badly by My Math is Correct, trailing the field as they roll into the far turn. Juana's Legacy and British Sea duel for the lead. Glinton's Daddy's Eye is in the 3-path right there in contention. Best in Class needs to pick up the bit as they race into the far turn. Then the Great PJ and My Math is Correct. 48 flat for the half. It looks like it's these 3, and now the advantage goes to Glinton Daddy's Eye. It's Glinton Daddy's Eye and Kirk Johnson a length on top as they swing for home. British Sea responds as Juana's Legacy begins to tire. Best in Class tries to rally. It's Glinton Daddy's Eye. Best in Class coming down the far outside. British Sea still there along the rail, but Glinton Daddy's Eye is drawing clear in the final 16th of a mile. It's Glinton Daddy's Eye. Kirk Johnson going on to win 2 in a row by a diminishing 2 lengths. Best in Class rallied late. British Sea was third, then Juana's Legacy. About 7 furlongs and 126-2. Unofficial in race 3, the winner is number 6, Glinton Daddy's Eye. Second is the 4, Best in Class. Third, number 3, British Sea. And fourth, number 7, Juana's Legacy. Unofficial race 3 order, 6-4-3-7. Now returning to the winner's circle, the unofficial winner of today's third race. Number 6, Glinton Daddy's Eye. Glinton Daddy's Eye is a 3-year-old dark bay or brown gelding by Frack Daddy out of Moonlight Glint, bred here in Ontario by Paul Buttigieg. That's a race-to-race double for jockey Kirk Johnson. Glinton Daddy's Eye is trained by Noel Williams for Bermuda Blue Farm. In their first start off the claim, Glinton Daddy's Eye breaks the maiden in start number 12, his 5th start of the 2025 campaign, and his first try over the Fort Erie turf. He completes the about 7 furlong distance in a time of 1:26 and 2. Congratulations to the connections of Glinton Daddy's Eye. Hold all tickets until race 3 is made official. And it is official. Prices are up. Glinton Daddy's Eye returns 5.10 to win, 3.40 and 2.10. Long shot best in class up for second, 11.10 to place, $4. Third number 3, British Sea, 2.10 to show. $2 exacta, 6.4, 55.40. The $1 try, 6.43, 63.15. $1 super, 6.437, $247.25. $2 double, 5.6, 10.80. And the $1 pick 3, 11.05. Wiener Dog races coming back to Fort Erie Racetrack. Sunday, July 13th. Admission is free. And the dogs come back on Sunday, August 17th, when the Basset Hound and Corgis will take the track. Race 4 coming up in 16 minutes. There are no changes. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a late scratch to announce. As expected in tonight's 6th race, take out the number 9, main track only, Linda's Opal. In race 6, the number 9, Linda's Opal, is a steward scratch, main track only.
Race 4, we return to the dirt. 6 furlongs is the distance for these colts and geldings, a claiming event with a claiming price of $6,250. And the one, Commander Joe, he looked extremely good winning here in his first start of 2025. It was back on June 10th, and I thought he got a really great ride from Edgar Zenteno. Ends up getting the job done, and Brady O'Brady gave him a little bit of a challenge in the stretch, but then he was able to repel that one and was able to draw clear by a length and a quarter. And speaking of Brady O'Brady, he's come back since then to win. So like that effort, he was in for the waiver. I think this is a logical spot for him. His only other dirt try, he was way further back and still was able to rally, but I don't think that's going to be the tactics that we see from Edgar Zenteno and Commander Joe. They have the inside draw, so I have a feeling he'll be part of the pace in this event. Others, though, to maybe take a look at, the number 4 in here, Star Scholar. He is so consistent, but the concern is he's 1 for 36. He has 12 runner-up placings, his 2 starts to date here. He's been second best in both. He ended up actually going off favored last time out behind Coherence. And in the other race, he couldn't catch Forest Flash. It's just concerning. He shows up, and I love horses like this, but obviously a little frustrating that he doesn't find the winner circle. So at 6-1 in the morning line, as long as he's not too short of a price in here as we kind of watch the wagering action as they get closer to loading, he's a horse that I think you need to use in the exotics. And finally from here, the 6 out of station was 4th in his first start for the connections off the claim. It was allowance level, non-winners of 3 life, and thought he was able to run pretty well, but more recently they stretched him out to 6.5. He was more forward. He dropped in for 8,000, and that's where he was really able to shine. It was a nice performance from him. I thought he got a great trip from Chris Husbands, who's obviously been aboard a couple of times and probably learned something from that race in early June, and now he's well spotted again. Maybe he gets the right trip in here. I do think he's one that benefits from the outside draw, but I think they're all going to try to catch Commander Joe in this spot, and that might be a little bit tough, but we know the rail runner is not going to offer a ton of value, so have to look elsewhere in the exotics and look for the 4 underneath Star Scholar. Good luck.
Field is making their way on track for today's fourth race. Race 4 is a claiming race for 3-year-olds and up, which have not won a race in 2025, or which have never won 4 races. We're going for a claiming price of $6,250 down to $6,000. Traveling a distance of 6 furlongs, competing for a purse of $19,800. Race 4 offers win, play, show, exactor, 20-cent try, double, 20-cent super, and 20-cent pick 3 wagering. Race 4 post parade, number 1 is Commander Joe. Edgar Zenteno riding for owner-trainer Nick Malini Jr. Howard Keene owns and trains the number 2 Mobilizer. The rider is Pierre Mailhot. Number 3 is Palace Prince. Terry Husbands has the call for trainer Julie Mathis and owner Alicia Robillard. Number 4 is Star Scholar. Ishmael Mascara pilots for trainer John Sims, who owns in partnership with Denise Carpenter. Number 5 is Forrester Humor, racing for 59 Newton. Cheyenne Kerr will ride for trainer Ted Holder. Completing the field, number 6. Number 6, Attestation. Chris Husbands riding for trainer Joe Humber and owner Joy Elkins. Final pick 3 of the day coming up here in race 4. Starting gate moving into position. Last call to get your race 4 wagers in. Even money favorite, the number 1, Commander Joe. 2-1 support on the number 6, Attestation. Final pick 3 of the day kicks off here in race 4. Field for race 4 is behind the starting gate. It is now post time. First to come up, the even money favorite, Commander Joe with Edgar Zenteno. Mobilizer with Pierre Mailhot. Palace Prince, Terry Husbands aboard. Star Scholar and Ishmael Mascara. Forrester Humor with Cheyenne Kerr. Last in will be Attestation with Chris Husbands. All set. And they're off. Stumbling at the start and losing the rider was Commander Joe. Showing speed is Forrester Humor with Mobilizer. Attestation is sitting in third as the loose horse advances into the pack. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're on the rail, we advise you back away. Palace Prince is racing in fourth as the loose horse slips in front of the field now. The trailer is Star Scholar. Forrester Humor and Mobilizer trying to navigate away from the loose horse, who's now clear. Attestation is racing in third on the outside. Palace Prince just 2 lengths off the leader, and the clear lead now belongs to Forrester Humor. At the back still, Star Scholar. 22 and 3 for the opening quarter, and now Forrester Humor tries to slip away. He's up by nearly 2. Attestation is traveling well into second as Mobilizer begins to tire. Star Scholar is angled to the outside and is passing Palace Prince as Hay tries to launch a rally. 45 and 2 to the half. It's Forrester Humor dealing with the bid of Attestation, who puts the head in front. Star Scholar coming down the outside. Attestation now has the clear advantage. It's Attestation. He's opened up 3. The threat is Star Scholar coming down the outside, but Attestation still moving well. It's Attestation and Chris Husbands. Star Scholar coming once again, but Attestation will hold on. Attestation by 3/4 of a length over Star Scholar, then Palace Prince and Forrester Humor. 6 furlongs in 1:10 and 4. Unofficial in race 4, the winner is number 6, Attestation. Second is the 4, Star Scholar. Third, number 3, Palace Prince. And fourth, number 5, Forrester Humor. Unofficial race 4 order, 6-4-3-5. Stewards have posted the inquiry sign. They're looking into the start of the number 1, Commander Joe. Hold all tickets as the stewards look into the start of today's 4th race. Now in the winner's circle, the unofficial winner of today's fourth race, number 6, Attestation. Attestation is a 3-year-old bay colt by American Pharaoh out of Top Cats, bred here in Ontario by Copper Water Thoroughbred Company Limited. Ridden to victory today by Chris Husbands, Attestation is trained by Joe Humber for Joy Elkins. 4th win of the season and 4th lifetime win for Attestation. He's now 2 for 3 over the Fort Erie main track. He completes the 6 furlongs in a time of 1:10:4. Congratulations to the connections of Attestation. Hold all tickets until race 4 is made official. Stewards have determined that all starters received a fair start in today's 4th race. There will be no change. Race 4 order 6-4-3-5 will be made official shortly. And race 4 is now official. Prices are up. Attestation pays $9.60 to win, $5 and $3.30. Second, number 4, Star Scholar, $3.40 to place, $2.40. Third, number 3, Palace Prince, $3.40 to show. $2 exacta, 6-4, $31.70. The $1 try, 6-4-3, $42.25. $1 super, 6-4-3-5, $122.60. The $2 double, a pair of sixes, $19.70. $1 pick 3, $60.40, and the $1 early pick 4, $89 even. A couple of claims out of race 4. The winner, Attestation, claimed by Bruno Schickadans, moves to the barn of trainer Julie Mathis. Also claimed was the number 1, Commander Joe, claimed by Icon Racing Stables, moves to the barn of trainer Tony Adamo. Race 5 is coming up in 17 minutes. There are no changes. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a couple of late rider changes to announce for the first time. Jockey Edgar Zenteno has booked off the remainder of his mounts on today's card. So here in race 5, the number 3, Play the Dots, will now be ridden by Terry Husbands. Put Terry Husbands on number 3, Play the Dots here in race 5. And in race 6, number 8, In It to Win It. Put Terry Husbands on In It to Win It. Race 6, number 8, In It to Win It. Rider change, Terry Husbands.
Race 5 up next. This is a mile and a 16th on the main track. It's an allowance event for non-winners of 2 Life, 3-year-olds and upward, and it's going to be our first 2-turn dirt race of the 2025 season. We'll kick things off here with the number 2, So-Called Vacation, who is an interesting horse to claim. Claimed him for $10,000 last time out. He was able to graduate, and what makes it interesting? Took him 23 starts to graduate, but he showed speed, and some of his best races as you go down the past performances have been when he's been forward. And I think with that in mind, it makes a lot of sense maybe to move him to the dirt, being by super speedy. That's not going to be an issue. Look at his record around 2 turns. There's a lot to like. Then factor in Juan Crawford, Icon Racing, Tony Adamo. I think that's a trio that sort of says it all. So So-Called Vacation, I think, is a must play here. Others, though, to consider: maybe the 4 or the 5 if you insist. The 4, Speedy Bullet. Depends sort of who you prefer out of the 2. I think when you look at Speedy Bullet, obviously didn't go off favorite in that most recent outing at the 6 furlong distance. First start in the barn, first time on the dirt. He was ready to roll. And then the 5, if you insist, a second time on the dirt, and just came up a little bit short. And when I looked at the 2, found it really tough to pick between them. I do go to the 5, if you insist, in the runner-up spot. A horse that has tried 7-ace in the career, but you go down the page, hasn't gone 2 turns. And most recently, I think he was pretty hard sent in that event, just second best behind Short Story Long. And curious to see how he's going to fare at a longer distance and the trip that he's going to get. I think he still wants to be forward, but if they do use him from this outside draw, could he get into a good rhythm and be able to slow things down? We'll see. I don't think it's going to be easy, especially with the 2 So-Called Vacation in here, but one that I do want to use. And then finally, the 4, Speedy Bullet. He has gone long, and his 2 kind of more recent efforts going long, they have not been the best. And really, his only good 2-turn race was his 3rd and 2nd career starts in those 2, right, when he was 3rd and 2nd, respectively. As of late, 2-turn hasn't been all that great, but he ran so well for the new connections. He didn't need the lead. I do think he's an interesting talking point and maybe going to offer better value than the other 2. So we'll see what he ends up going off at and look at his odds a little bit closer to the race, because if he's a higher price than we might think, he might be the horse to play. But for me, the 2, So-Called Vacation on top. Good luck.
Field is making their way on track for today's fifth race. Race 5 is an allowance race for 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 2 races. Traveling a distance of 1 mile and 1/16 over the main track, competing for a purse of $24,600. Race 5 offers win, play, show, exactor, 20-cent try, double, and 20-cent superfecta wagering. Race 5 post parade, number 1 is Lawn Rose Gamble. Kirk Johnson rides for trainer Roy Augustino and owner Born to Run Racing Stable. Icon Racing Stables own the number 2, So-Called Vacation. Juan Crawford rides for trainer Tony Adamo. Away from parade, number 3 is Play the Dots. Terry Husbands picks up the mount for trainer Josh Robillard and owner Dubraj Potion. Number 4, Speedy Bullet. Leo Sala's in the saddle for trainer Sharon Chicato and owners Anna Cini and Dallamonte Holdings. Completing the field, number 5, If You Insist. Racing for Tanya Orth, Dean Zaniol, and David Green. Chris Husbands will ride for trainer Mark Fournier. 1 minute to post for race 5, late double wagering offered here. Starting gate has taken position. Not much time left to get your race 5 wagers in. 7-5 favorite, the number 2, So-Called Vacation. 2-1 support on the number 5, If You Insist, and 5-2 on the number 4, Speedy Bullet. Late double wagering offered here in race 5. Post time for race 5, set to begin loading. First up, Lonrose Gamble, looking to give Kirk Johnson his third win on the card. Even money on So-Called Vacation, making his first start off the claim for Icon and Adamo. Juan Crawford in the saddle. Play the Dots with Terry Husbands aboard. Goes in. Last out winners Speedy Bullet and Leo Salez. Last in, If You Insist, and Chris Husbands. All set. And they're off. Play the Dots was out a bit slowly. If You Insist broke well from the outside with So-Called Vacation and Speedy Bullet also showing speed. The favorites will be making the pace. Lonrose Gamble is about 5 lengths off of them with Play the Dots to his outside. The advantage now goes to If You Insist, who's a length clear as they race into the opening turn. So-Called Vacation now reapplies the pressure from the inside, giving stalking position to Speedy Bullet as they complete the opening quarter in a quick 23-4. 2 more lengths to Lonrose Gamble, racing on the inside of Play the Dots. They're about 5 lengths off the lead as they turn into the backside. If You Insist now rebreaks a bit, lets out a notch, and is now 3/4 of a length better than So-Called Vacation. Speedy Bullet is on the outside, stalking the pace. 2.5 lengths better than Play the Dots and Lonrose Gamble. Not much has changed. The half was 47-1. If You Insist and Chris Husband still lead the way. So-Called Vacation is still second. Speedy Bullet tries to take closer order from the outside. It's now 4 lengths back to Play the Dots and Lonrose Gamble. If You Insist is opened up 2. So-Called Vacation is still second. Speedy Bullet tried to launch a bid but is now stalling a bit from the outside. Lonrose Gamble is going better than Play the Dots from the back but still has 10 lengths to make up on the leaders. If You Insist is cantered over in a 3-length lead. 111-3 for 3/4. It's If You Insist, not asked for anything yet by Chris Husbands as they turn for the drive. It's If You Insist up by 3. So-Called Vacation tries to find another gear as Speedy Bullet tires, but at the 8th pole, If You Insist is kicking clear. If You Insist, a powerful victory here in the 6th. He's drawing away in the final 16th of a mile. It's If You Insist and Chris Husbands by 5. So-Called Vacation was second, then Speedy Bullet and Lonrose Gamble. 144 flat. Unofficial in race 5, the winner is number 5, If You Insist. Second is the 2, So-Called Vacation. Third, number 4, Speedy Bullet. And fourth, number 1, Lonrose Gamble. Unofficial race 5 order, 5-2-4-1. Race 5 is now official. Now back to the winner's circle, the official winner of today's 5th race, number 5, If You Insist. If You Insist is a 4-year-old bay gelding by Frack Daddy out of OK One More, bred here in Ontario by Daniel Mooney. A natural double on the card for jockey Chris Husbands. If You Insist is trained by Mark Fournier for Tanya Orth, Dean Zaniel, and David Green. First win of the season for If You Insist, his second win in 15 career starts, drawing off to complete the mile and a 16th in a time of 1:44 flat. Congratulations to the connections of If You Insist. Hold all tickets. Actually, race 5 is already official. My bad. Prices are up. If You Insist returns $7.10 to win, $3.40 and $2.40. Second number 2, So-Called Vacation, $3 to place, $2.10. Third number 4, Speedy Bullet, $2.10 to show. $2 exacta, 5.2, $14.90. The $1 try, 5.24, $16.15. $1 super, 5.2, 4.1, $24.85. $2 double, 6.5, $29.90. And the $1 pick 3, $55.60. And a reminder, if you're planning on coming out tomorrow after the last race, we'll have a free concert featuring Cottage Brew at the Tiki Bar. Fort Foodie Fest is returning this year, Sunday, July 27th. The action kicks off at noon. Oneida New Holland of Niagara is a proud partner of Fort Erie Racetrack. They've provided us with a new tractor for our maintenance this season, and we would like to thank them graciously. Race 6 coming up in 15 minutes. We have a rider change on the number 8, In It to Win It. Make the rider Terry Husbands. Stewart scratch the number 9, Linda's Opal, main track only.
We round out the Monday program on the grass at about 7 furlongs with an allowance event for fillies and mares, non-winners of 2 life. I'll dive into it here with the number 6, Brilliant Disguise, who made the first start for trainer Joe Humber in that most recent outing. And while it was on the dirt, was made in special weight competition. It was going 6.5, and I loved that she was really game. She sort of had to fight for it in the end, but had a beautiful ride from Alexis Sanchez and going to get on the turf. She's by Quality Road. You can look at the mare a little bit. The mare won 2 races in her career, and she was a horse that did very well at the beginning of her career, but not really concerned about the surface switch for her. I think, if anything, maybe the little extra distance is going to help her chances and has been very consistent to date. So I make her the one to beat in here. The number 1, Kid Gizmo, this one for Roy Agostino. I'm kind of curious about her in here. She's 0 for 5 in the money on the grass, but hear me out. A lot of those races up at Woodbine, sort of different. She's gone a mile on the inner, and some of those races aren't all that bad. At that point in her career, she was sort of closing from off of it, and I think with a more forward trip, she's a little bit more of a realistic play in here. She's 4-1 on the morning line. Curious to see the price that she'll take if she'll take play in here. And I think, I know in terms of her performances, she's needed to do more. But I think with the inside draw, she could get the right setup. So willing to use her in my top picks. And then finally from here, the number 7, Nadia Nice. She loves this turf course. Her better performances have been over the grass. I thought her second place finish last time out, Connect It, was just able to kind of mow her down late, and Nadia Nice should take a step forward, second off the freshening. She's going to need to, but don't let her fool you. At this sort of level, she can be competitive. We saw that last year, so I don't want to be necessarily talked off of her just because her last 3 have been in for a tag. She can compete at this level and at least get a piece. The number 6, Brilliant Disguise, going to be the top pick, getting onto the turf course for the first time at the Fort. Good luck.
Field is making their way on track for today's sixth and final race. Race 6 is an allowance race for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 2 races, traveling a distance of about 7 furlongs over the turf course, competing for a purse of $24,600. Race 6 offers win, play, show, exactor, 20-cent try, 20-cent super, and 20-cent jackpot high five wagering. The carryover in excess of $11,000. Race 6 post parade, number 1 is Kid Gizmo. Juan Crawford rides for trainer Roy Agostino and owner Born to Run Racing Stable. Number 2 is Maiken the Viking, racing for Hesty Sport. Pierre Mailhot rides for trainer Richard Davis. Number 3 is Silent Patsy. Neil Husbands in the saddle for trainer Valerie Thompson and owner Scott Simmons. Hopefield Farm own the number 4, Towns of Breeze. Leo Salas rides for trainer Roy Agostino. Number 5 is Holiday in Jail. Chris Husbands in the saddle for trainer Joe Humber and owner Joy Elkins. Also from the barn of Joe Humber is the 6, Brilliant Disguise. Alexis Sanchez riding for owners Glenn Sakura, Mario Serrani, and Dylan Sakura. We'll come back to the 7. Number 8 is In It to Win It. Terry Husbands picks up the mount for trainer Patrick Dixon and owner Colebrook Farms. And on screen now, number 7, Naughty and Nice. Kirk Johnson rides for trainer Julie Mathis and owner John Brown. We're on the turf for race 6, jackpot high five wagering offered here. Race 6 field making their way on to the turf course. Not much time left to get your wagers in. 5-2 favorite, the number 1, Kid Gizmo, co-favored with the 6, Brilliant Disguise, and the 7, Naughty and Nice. $11,000 in the jackpot high five carryover, field of 8 to go a circuit of the turf course. Race 6 field is behind the starting gate. It is now post time. Favoritism still being shared between Naughty and Nice, Brilliant Disguise, and Kid Gizmo. A field of 8 to close out this Monday here at Fort Erie Racetrack. First up is Kid Gizmo with Juan Crawford. Mike in the Viking with Pierre Mailhot. Goes up. Silent Patsy and Neil Husbands. Last out winner, Towns of Breeze with Leo Salas. Holiday in Jail, Chris Husbands, looking to sweep the late pick 3. Almost in with Holiday in Jail. The other Joe Humber entrant, Brilliant Disguise with Alexis Sanchez to gate 6. Naughty and Nice, the slight favorite. Kirk Johnson aboard. Kirk already with 2 wins on the card. Naughty and Nice steps up. Last in will be In It to Win It and Terry Husbands. All set for the nightcap. And they're off. In It to Win It was out slowly. Naughty and Nice is showing speed with Brilliant Disguise. Kid Gizmo under a hold to settle in a stalking position on the inside with Silent Patsy racing 2 deep. Holiday in Jail is going to be 3 wide into the opening turn. Mike and the Viking and Towns of Breeze share position towards the back, and the trailer after the poor beginning is In It to Win It. Naughty and Nice is skipped clear and opened up 3 lengths on Brilliant Disguise. Kid Gizmo is stalking from the inside, saving ground with Silent Patsy angling to the far outside. Holiday in Jail is taken back a bit. Towns of Breeze and Mike and the Viking continue to share position, and still at the back is In It to Win It. 23-3 for the opening quarter. It's Naughty and Nice looking to take this field gate to wire. Kid Gizmo is trying to take closer order from second. Brilliant Disguise and Silent Patsy are also right there. It's a gap of 4 more to Holiday in Jail as they roll into the sunset turn. Towns of Breeze launches her rally. She's gathering momentum as they pass the half and 47 flat. At the back are Mike and the Viking and In It to Win It. Naughty and Nice still has the lead, but Kid Gizmo is looming large, angling to the 2-path. Holiday in Jail and Towns of Breeze are both rallying. They swing for home. It's Naughty and Nice trying to shake clear of Kid Gizmo. Room up the inside for Holiday in Jail. Towns of Breeze is there. Kid Gizmo takes the lead from Naughty and Nice. It's Kid Gizmo and Juan Crawford. Towns of Breeze trying to make a late rally, trying to get up for second past the tired Naughty and Nice, but Kid Gizmo is best. It's Kid Gizmo and Juan Crawford to win by 3. Naughty and Nice second, then Holiday in Jail, Towns of Breeze, and a late closing In It to Win It. 125 flat. Unofficial in the nightcap, the winner is number 1, Kid Gizmo. Second is the 7, Naughty and Nice. Third, number 5, Holiday in Jail. Fourth, number 4, Towns of Breeze. Fifth was the number 8, In It to Win It. Your unofficial jackpot high five numbers are 1, 7, 5, 4, 8. Race 6 is now official. Now returning to the winner's circle, the official winner of today's 6th race, number 1, Kid Gizmo. Kid Gizmo is a 4-year-old dark bay or brown filly by Amy's Gizmo out of Kid's Collection, bred here in Ontario by Tall Oaks Farm. Ridden to victory today by Juan Crawford, Kid Gizmo is trained by Roy Augustino for Born to Run Racing Stable. In her first circuit around the Fort Erie turf course, she's a convincing winner, completing the about 7 furlong distance in a time of 1:25 flat. Congratulations to the connections of Kid Gizmo. Prices will be posted shortly. Prices are up. Kid Gizmo, $5.90 to win, $2.80 and $2.10. Second, number 7, Naughty and Nice, $3 to place, $2.40. Third, number 5, Holiday in Jail, $3.90 to show. $2 exacta, 1.7, $13.60. The $1 try, 1.75, $30.25. $1 super, 1.754, $150, 95 cents. $1 high five, 1.7548, $584, 75 cents. Multiple winning tickets in the high five, so the carryover into tomorrow's card will be $15,797.27. $2 double, 5-1, $22.90. $1 pick 3, $109.10. $1 pick 4, $234.45. And the $1 pick 5, $721.15. Jackpot High Five carryover is growing. Tomorrow's carryover, $15,797.27. Visit our website, FortErieRacing.com, for information about everything going on here at the track. Tune in to the pre-race show to get info about the track conditions, scratches and changes, handicapping selections, and info about upcoming races and events. Racing is back tomorrow at Fort Erie. Post time is 4:30. If you're going to be on track with us tomorrow, stick around. After the last race, we'll have a free concert at the Tiki Bar featuring Cottage Brew. Wiener Dog Race is coming back to Fort Erie Sunday, July 13th, a fan favorite day. Admission is free. More dog racing action comes back to the Border Oval on Sunday, August 17th, when the Basset Hound and Corgis will take the track. Fort Foodie Fest returns on Sunday, July 27th. Don't miss out on the delicious action, kicking off at noon. We want to say thank you to our partners at Oneida New Holland of Niagara for providing us with a new tractor for our maintenance this season. Tune in to the Fort Erie Race Replay Show on Your TV Niagara, Channel 700, Thursdays at 10:30 and Saturdays at 10. That concludes the Monday racing action here from Fort Erie Racetrack. We want to thank everybody for joining us here today. We will be back tomorrow for another 6-race card. Post time is 4:30. Enjoy the rest of your Monday night.